What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I am Wayno. If this is your first time here, what up? If you like what it is that I do, make sure you hit that sub button and run them likes up. Today, we talking about Freddie Gibbs in more ways than one. On one hand, we got this new album out, Alfredo 2, but Freddie Gibbs took the time to diss everybody. Everybody. He used his album as an opportunity to get at everybody he's been having problems with over the past couple of years. And maybe people paid attention to it, or maybe I didn't. But before we go into the album, let's just address these conflicts, because we're going to rate it today. Lavish Habits, right? So Lavish Habits. Y'all was on stream with me while we listening to this album. And as we going through it, I'm hearing Akademiks, Gunna. I'm like, oh, yo, what are you doing? Now, we all know that him and Ak had a public, super duper public conflict, you know what I'm saying, where Ak was going in on him on stream daily, monthly. They was going back and forth. This is about 3 years ago. But let's revisit where the problem stemmed from.
Okay, so first of all, and I just learned this, like, I was kicking it with my family recently, and my brother one time, one of the first times I ever went to LA, back in 2017, Carl Cherry had invited me to a Spotify party. By the way, how interesting how the universe brings shit together 4 years later or 5 years later. And when I went there, my brother, like, so I'm kicking my brother last week and be like, yo, he's like, what's up with, like, you and Freddie? And I'm like, man, I don't know what this guy's problem. He's like, yo, do you know that you met Freddie? Like, you and Freddie had a conversation. I had no idea, or maybe I just forgot. Freddie met me at a Carl Cherry party, which is a Spotify party, in 2017 on like a balcony, and he was trying to get me to smoke. He was like, yo, Ag, you should smoke this with me. I don't smoke. So I was like, nah. You know what I mean? And I remember people, I'm like, yo, it was, and again, I don't remember it that well, but he remembers it. Wayno, who also was with me, my brother calls Wayno, and Wayno says, Ag, don't you remember? He was trying to get you to smoke. Like, yo, y'all were chopping it up. Y'all were cool. I'm like, damn. For whatever reason, I don't remember it.
Ak ain't lying. We did go to a party. I think it was only 2 times. Like I said, I worked with Ak for about 3 years. We was around each other outside of work 2 times. That was one of the times. But yeah, Gibbs he pulled up on him. It wasn't nothing aggressive enough, and it was cool. He said something to him. He passed him the black. Ak was like, nah, I'm cool. And then they had a brief conversation. There was a lot of people in the building that night, though. I remember seeing Ray Shrummet in there. It was a lot of people. It was a lot going on. We had a good time. But Ak, he went on to say basically that he was advocating for Freddie to get out, but he was covering him every day on stream, and then that kind of went astray, right? But just the bars. Let's go back to the bars, and then I want to play a video from Ak when he was getting at him on stream, because it got super disrespectful. But on Lavish Habits, he says, right? He says, first class Virgin Atlantic, stewardess, titties plastic. I'm still going to squeeze Akademiks titties, that fat bastard. Said Gunna dissed me and took a plea. He a rap bastard, which we'll get into the Gunna situation as well. But let's watch this clip from Ak, because this went on for like a year and a half of him just going in on Freddie.
Some whack ass song probably trying to get me to engage. Nigga, I been told you, nigga, don't tell me what you coulda did, nigga. What did you do? Not a motherfucking thing but get on Twitter and you the gangster, nigga. You the gangster. You got on Twitter afterwards, nigga. 3 years, nigga. I don't care where I was at, nigga. You could have came and addressed that. You knew my address. I've been here. If I'm not like on tour, like I was in LA on tour, and I'm about to go to Miami on tour. I was just in Miami 2 times on tour. You could catch me right here, nigga. You know I'm streaming. What the fuck is that tough talk about?
And we all know that this rap shit is nothing but wrestling. And I ain't even gonna say wrestling, because wrestling, there do be repercussions, and there's actually repercussions within this whole thing between Freddie and other people that he got at, right? But then, Gunna. Then he talks to Bootleg Kev. Shouts out to my guy, Bootleg Kev. He talked to Bootleg Kev about Gunna, because Gunna said, I can't F with Freddie Gibbs. He said that his kids was singing it, all of that. Let's watch that.
I want to know, because I know that you guys never had a real beef. I think it was more internet comedy Fred shit. But like, how crazy, bro, I remember when that song came out, every club you walked into, you had to play that fucking record.
Oh, I would still bump that shit.
Yo.
My kids like that shit. My kids be in the backseat. I can't fuck with Freddie Gibbs. I be like, you little motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey man, I don't have nothing against none of them. I don't even really know.
It's mad bits and pieces of controversy throughout this album, but for the casual rap listener that don't listen to Freddie Gibbs, they would think that he's just a person that uses these type of situations in order for people to listen to his album. I don't think anybody was anticipating him getting at people because it had been so long ago, right? But this is when it starts to get a little bit wacky, as the young kids in the city say, because him and Benny the Butcher have a problem. And when they have a problem, you know what I'm saying, Benny and a couple of his guys run into him. You know what I'm saying, they run into him in Buffalo. And what prompted, you know what I'm saying, what prompted these lyrics, right? So he says on Empanadas, right? He says, well, before we get to Empanadas, excuse me, on Ensalada, they rhyme, so I kind of mixed them up. But on Ensalada, he says, feel like niggas never met a plug, all imaginary Pablo. So we all know that Benny has a series plugs I met, you know what I'm saying? So it was a light jab on that one, in which he says a little things, a couple of more, like more direct in another record on Empanadas, right? But then let's revisit their problems post Benny and wherever peoples or whomever ran up on him, did whatever they had to do, and how they was on the internet about it.
Yo, MC Dinosaur Barbecue, that's what got your head punched in the first time. Talk about shit you ain't had nothing to do with. Real shit. Dragged you by your chain, dragged you by your shit. Took this off your bitch neck. You pussy. MC Dinosaur Barbecue, you been getting ran down on by for the past year. Without a gun. You a bitch. MC Dinosaur Barbecue. Just punched your head all in, had you fucking lumped up, stitches all in your shit. For running your mouth like you doing now.
And the crazy thing about this type of shit is because then you get casualties of war. So his girl at the time, who ended up becoming his baby mother, she was in the mix and she got some hands put on her as well, which, I mean, nobody's ever advocating for women to be hurt or women to be harmed, but she got caught up in the midst of it because she was jumping in to defend him. Now, after that, what ended up going left was she started going in on him on social media and calling him a fan. Y'all already know what the fan acronym stands for, right? But she started going in on him, and then Benny ended up linking up with her. And this is why, like, this rap shit, it be like perception versus reality, because the reality of the fact is Freddie can rap as much as he wants, but for Benny to have the situation that he had with him, that we seen the video, we ain't gonna post it on here, but we seen the video, you know what I'm saying? And then for Freddie to be trying to go back and forth with him, but then linking up with his baby moms, in the class of like, well, not class, in the spectrum of hip hop war, right? Like, that's the ultimate shit, right? It's like Tupac starts off, hit him up with, that's why I F'd you. You know what I'm saying? And he kept antagonizing Biggie with that, right? Now, this didn't go as far as that. Nobody wanted it to. But the perception of how Benny was presenting it versus the bars that Freddie Gibbs was giving up, he's ruled. Like, he's ruled. You know what I'm saying? He's ruled. Now, we could all look at her as just like a bit of baby moms. She said that, you know, he wanted her to get rid of the kid. She didn't want to get rid of the kid. But ultimately, right, this comes down to decision making. You know what I mean? And who he chose to be his Beyonce, like Pusha said on that story of Addy Dawn, right? But this is Freddie going back at Butch.
Baby, get some motherfucking medication before you fuck with me. Have a motherfucking asthma attack. Fucking with the wrong one.
Oh shit, what's that? 2 good feet, still working. Hey, I might run a mile. Oh shit, you see my foot? Oh shit. You see me moving that motherfucker? Bitch, can you do that? Can you get it on the good foot, you bitch?
Now, the whole trolling the foot thing is, remember Benny had got shot. I think he was in Houston. There was an attempted robbery, you know what I'm saying? He caught a leg shot, you know what I'm saying? And he was on crutches for a bit. Now, all right, listen. In this situation specifically, a lot of lines got crossed. A whole lot of lines got crossed. And it's always been like speculated of subs, and did somebody say this and did somebody say that. And then Benny, you know, he said a few things on the Position of Power record that just recently dropped, and people thought that he was going at him, right? But one of the wildest shots that came out of this was that Currency. And I was like, what Currency did? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I seen this, I was like, wait, what happened? So on Gas Station Sushi, you know what I mean? Freddie says, could have ran that Fetty by myself, bitch. I'm the best with Al, right? Then he says also, he also said, go start a Chevy up, don't start me, nigga. Everybody knows that Currency love muscle cars. So my thing was this. The album, which we're gonna go through a few songs, I just wanted to paint the picture of some of the things that people may have not saw. He sprinkles them in there. But then I'm like, wow, Currency. But let's go back. You know what we do? We go back and watch what Currency had to say about the Fetty album that he collabed on with Freddie Gibbs and Alchemist.
Let's talk about this Fetty project, though, man.
Come on, yeah, me and Freddie Gibbs, man. Let me tell you something. Me and Freddie Gibbs bumped into each other in Chicago 2 years after we said we were gonna do the tape. And he tells me, Spiller, why don't you quit smoking weed so we could get the tape done? Like the weed is what was stopping. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I immediately went to the studio with a copious amount of weed and got all the records done that day. And I sent them back to him, and then I was waiting for him.
Oh, the challenge.
Absolutely.
Challenge.
Yeah, I
So
did.
it
I
is
sent them
competitive.
7 records. I sent them 7 records the next day. You don't tell me about quit smoking weed. I smoked weed. I sent 7 records to him.
I thought you guys did this in 2
Absolutely.
days, though.
Yeah, 2 days.
Oh, okay.
I sent 7 that day, and he sent back that
wow.
7 with his verses on it, and he sent me some records,
Why was
and
he
I
on
put
you
mine
about
on
smoking?
those. I think that he thought the weed had control of me for 2 years, and that's why we hadn't done the tape. And it just was because we were both just doing our thing. Like, he was busy being Freddie Pendergrass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Putting that artwork and shit, what he was doing. Like, man, you needed your own space for that time. You
let
had
him
your
get
shit
the
to do.
Gators joint off on
You know
here.
what I'm
Gators, he
saying?
think he can sing now.
Look, that's about to be his next move. Don't be surprised.
Oh, for real?
Don't
For
be
real?
surprised. He's about to drop a fusion.
Nah, later Gators,
It's gonna be a fusion thing where he's doing R&B and rap. It's tight. I see it happening for him.
Rare sighting of Elliot Wilson at better times. Nah, what up, Elliot? But yeah, man, I think that one was the least of the serious shots that Freddie is throwing at people. Now, lastly, and we gonna close this out on the diss side, but on Empanadas, right? On Empanadas, he speaks on the situation he had with Jim. Now he says, smacked him in Miami. Now we all know that one of Jim's most known or notable albums is Summer in Miami, right? But he says, smacked him in Miami, his boys jumped me, he played it safe. Bitches in Buffalo get the same thing, they was throwing plates. Limped away on his good foot, but he ain't bust a grape, these niggas fake. Now, he goes a little bit more towards the what happened in Buffalo. We all seen what happened in Buffalo for the most part. The thing with Jim, they tried to get Jim to address it, he never did.
Allegedly, there was an incident.
That's kind of crazy right after the police question, Jim. I think you need to... That's kind of crazy.
Nah, I don't know what they're talking about, man. You know, rumors fly.
Now, Jim kept that there like that, right? But let's move on into the album now. Because even with all of that being said, every song is fire. Like, I'm not going to dispute that. Every song that he goes in, that he got something to say on, is fire. Now, we highlighted a few of them joints, but I'm going to tell y'all, 1995 is one of my favorite joints. You know what I'm saying? The beat switch in there. Alchemist, Alan the Chemist, one of the greatest producers to ever produce. I seen when I say that sometimes, I see producers come out the woodwork and try to throw shots, but y'all can't fuck with him. I'm going to just tell y'all straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? He don't bother nobody. He don't get in nobody's way. He does his thing unapologetically. He makes great music. And I believe that people on a grand scale are starting to look and say, wow, so he's doing that boutique-wise, but he was doing that back with Prodigy. You know what I'm saying? When they did Return of the Mac. When they was doing all them albums, the Infamy, all of those albums, he had his space where he was just like EP and shit. Now, wish list, I would love to see a Jadakiss produced Alchemist album, or a Styles P Alchemist album, or even a Beanie Sigel Alchemist album. I can wish, right? We got that Erykah Badu drink coming up. Life is Beautiful is great. Alfredo 2, let's go through it. Lemon Pepper Steppers, Mar-a-Lago, good joints. Ensalada is one of my favorite joints. Love Anderson .Paak and how he contributes on there. Skinny Suge is hard as well, right? The Feeling with Larry June. Larry's verse kind of threw me off only because of the flow, but Larry did him on there, so I'm not knocking that, right? Still Lover is fire. Shangri-La is fire, right? Gas Station Sushi, we just talked about that. Now, my favorite joint off the whole album, though, is Gold Feet with J.I.D. J.I.D. got the best verse on the whole album. And that's no disrespect to Freddie Gibbs because it is his album, but J.I.D. went on another level, and I've been for a minute waiting on this J.I.D. album, and I can't wait to see what he comes through with that. But Jean-Claude, Thousand Mountains. Now, you know what we do around here. We rate these albums and we give them beef patty ratings. I'm going to give this out of 5 because our rating is 5. I know sometimes I don't distinguish that. I just give out the beef patties and y'all don't know what it means or not. If we go 5 for 5, it's a classic. You know what I'm saying? Or potential classic, because you know you say classic, people get mad. Why can't you wait like a year? No, if I really love something, I'm going to say what it is and what it means to me. Still bumping that let God sort them out. Me, classic, right? We gave it 5. Did we give it 5? I think we gave it 5. If not, it grew, because I know I probably gave it 4.5 if I didn't give it 5. But anyway, this album for me is a 4 beef patty album, no cocoa bread. 4 beef patty album. I like it a lot. You know what I'm saying? Gibbs with the antics. Now, this is the thing about Gibbs. He got a lot of antics. We went through in the beginning of the episode, all the shit he be popping, all the situations he be getting into, all of the beefs that come around to him, and then he gets quiet and then brings them back up. So on the antics side, like, I get some of them, but bro, it's been years. Like, come on, it's been years. Like, can't tell nobody, can't tell the offended party how to feel, but he addresses some things, but I could care less for some of the things that he addressed. I thought the Currency shot was like way off. Like, even what Currency said, he ain't really say nothing crazy about you. You know what I mean? But overall, great album. Alchemist showcases some of his best beats. You know what I'm saying? They having fun with it. Gibbs, a lot of dope, high-level rapping. And that's the thing about Gibbs. I love the fact that regardless to the antics, regardless to what's going on in the climate, whatever's going on, Freddie Gibbs is going to rap. That's one thing you can count on him for. Whether it's him being on Joe Rogan and talking about assaulting, almost taking the life of a crackhead, you know what I'm saying? All types of crazy stuff he just be coming up with or just saying, he's always going to rap. You know what I'm saying? He's always going to rap, and we appreciate that. We appreciate that over here. This is how I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, you know how we doing. For the ones that don't, eventually you will. I catch you on the next one. Peace.